It doesn't matter what softwares you know today, because with time, every technical skill gets outdated. What truly stays with you are the core principles, your mindset, and the way you think about your subject. Welcome to the Foundations for UX Design, a 15-episode series that will take you through all the important lessons and realizations I've had so far as a self-taught UX designer. My name is Ansh Mehra and I am a product designer and storyteller at Zuddle.com, which is a virtual events hosting platform. In this session, we will be learning some of the most common mistakes students make when they begin their career as a UX designer. I hope you've seen all videos from the series preceding this episode. With that being said, I hope you enjoy this session. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. Alright, welcome to lecture 12, and today we will discuss some strategies or techniques using which you can apply to startups and increase your chances of getting a better job. So this is what we'll cover today. We'll figure out how to shortlist the right startups, because when you go on LinkedIn, you will have hundreds of startups looking for designers, but just by seeing their company name or just by seeing their logo, you can't really decide if that company is good or not. And you often feel scared about the salary structure, whether they will pay you on time, whether they are trustworthy. So I'll tell you one litmus test that can help you make a better decision. Then we will talk about 4 things that you must have in your skill set before you apply for a job. If you don't have even one of these 4 things, I can say for a fact that you will have issues while applying. You will either not get the salary that you expected, or they will simply not reply to you. Then we'll go through some really cool free resources that you can use to upskill your UX game. They are absolutely free. I regularly use them for my own personal projects, and I would recommend you guys to use them as well. So the best way to shortlist your first startup job is by going through all the popular VC websites and checking out who have they recently funded. All of these VCs have this column on their website where they announce who have they funded in this entire year, and they fund a lot of companies every single year. What you have to do is you have to go to their website, figure out who they've funded, make a list of companies that you can relate to, and directly message their co-founders or their CEOs. And I'll tell you why you need to do this. First, they are funded by extremely popular and strong VCs, which means that their product is strong. You're not going to apply to someone who is just working on an idea without any validation, without any market fit. You know that if these big VCs trust them, I can also trust them with what they're doing with their vision. Secondly, because they've been recently funded, they can afford you. They're looking for the right kind of talent. They're looking for people, and that is why they are happy to invest in a good enough salary, just because they want people to come and help them bring their vision to life. So this is an example of YCombinator's website. If I go to YCombinator.com/jobs/role, I can actually click on this design panel and see design jobs by location. So you can actually put that I'm in India or in a specific state, and you can actually see all of these startups looking for UX designers. You will be amazed by the kind of companies that are coming up and the number of opportunities available to people who are simply good at what they're doing. Now, as I mentioned, all of this would not work unless you have 4 things. The first thing is you need to have a strong understanding of visual design. It is something which is so common, but a lot of people just overlook it. They feel that my thought process, my UX process, all of these things are extremely valuable, but visual design is something which is secondary. That is not true, because the way your portfolio feels, the way you present your work, the way you cater your UI elements is extremely important, especially to new startups, because they are coming up with a new product. Good looking UI is extremely important to them. So if you're really bad at visual design, I would recommend you to have the 100-day UI challenge. Just go to Dribbble, go to Pinterest, pick one screen every single day and start tracing them. And eventually you will develop that gut. You will simply become better at making interfaces. There's a very popular website called Mobbin.design, and this is a screenshot of that website right here. You can basically pick screens from all these popular companies and just start looking closely, start observing what is making them look so good, right? You have to be very careful when you're exploring these applications, when you're exploring these websites, because The closer you look, the more details you will unravel, and eventually your gut will become better. Your intuition will become better. There's also UIDesignDaily.com, which basically gives you like this huge bank of Figma resources and sketch files. There are XD files, all kinds of resources, and these are proper components. So rather than just seeing JPEGs, you can actually see how people have built these components on Figma. Because when you download a picture from Dribbble or Pinterest, it's sort of not that easy to understand how they must have built it using auto layout, or how they must have built it using a specific structure or a padding or typography or some scale, right? But here on this website, you can actually open their component and see it hands-on how they've built that component in Figma. Then you have checklist.design, extremely powerful website, extremely powerful for people who are just entering, because in a lot of cases you would make a proper case study and forget small details like error states or some kind of an edge case, right? But this website would give you a checklist for every single thing, every single important core component of your product, and make sure that you don't forget all the important things. This website is going to really help you if you are building a project from scratch, because you can't really remember so many tiny details, right? So you can outsource that curation to this website. Second tip: after you've done a little bit of UI, a little bit of Figma, you need to go really deep understanding how Figma works. Without understanding of Figma, without understanding how components work, how libraries work, how style guides work, you will not get a good job. It is as simple as that. Just don't make like superficial projects that look good, because obviously you will be dealing with people who are not designers. So even if you show them 50 screens that look really pretty with some prototypes, they'll be like, oh wow, this is amazing. But you know the truth. You know that you haven't covered all the edge cases. You know you haven't put the constraints. You know that there is no component system. How will this product scale? So don't make that mistake. Please, if you feel that your Figma is not that strong, if your component structure is not that strong, the solution is so simple. Just go check out Office Hours playlist on Figma's YouTube channel. That is the only resource that you need, and start documenting. I'm telling you, if you finish Office Hours, every single video on Office Hours, you are done. You're done with the basics. You don't need to know anything more. Like, your basics and your necessities are absolutely catered by Figma's Office Hours playlist. Third, you need to recognize the difference between guidelines set for the web, iOS, and Android. There are so many people who believe that UI design for web is sort of similar to mobile design. That is not true. There are so many nuances and so many differences in how you interact with your phone versus how you interact with a laptop, where you have a mouse and you have hover states and you have clicked states and all these different things, right? I mean, you have pressed on mobile as well, but what my point is that you really have to open their documentation, open the iOS documentation, open material design, open, websites, and figure out how do they transition. Like, you should open a website on your laptop, then open the same website on your phone, and closely observe what difference are they adding, how do things change when they move from one device to another. Fourth point, which is away from Figma, away from technical aspects, and that is just knowing how to speak clearly, knowing how to communicate your thoughts, just knowing how to convey your vision, know how to collaborate with people, know how to be a comfortable team player. Because it doesn't matter how good you are at your skill if you are not a fun person to be with. And by fun, I don't mean that you have to party and like joke around. I'm saying you just have to be a good collaborator, right? Like, people want to work with comfortable people, right? It doesn't matter if you're supremely strong at what you do. But if you're a good person, if you're an ethical person, if you're a person who listens, who understands, who have patience, who knows what to say, when to say, knows how to behave, knows how to react, knows how to do like her entire time management, and a person who just knows how to handle themselves, people will give you more chances. People will actually give you time to learn, because you can easily pick up skills like Figma and libraries and UI and prototyping and all these things, but soft skills are really difficult to pick up. So please make sure that you're regularly working on your communication, your fluency, your vocabulary. And if you feel like you're weak at your English, the simplest solution that I used to do was that I used to read my books aloud. I used to read books aloud, like literally say them. So my tongue was becoming comfortable with English words, right? And that is a very important skill. It's not like just knowing English is enough. You need to have that smooth fluency. And I'm telling you, if you can speak fluently, if you can communicate fluently, people will listen to you more. And that is a huge superpower. One thing that I used to do was I used to watch a lot of celebrity interviews. There's this YouTube channel called Charisma on Command. I think that is the channel's name. You should definitely check that channel out because you can learn a lot from celebrities. The way they talk, the way their body language is, figured out, and they just know how to behave in front of the media. So if you can learn from them, that is also a huge, refreshing course. Rather than reading your books aloud and, just trying to figure out things on your own, you can really pinpoint things in specific celebrities. And the more you watch them, the more you will pick things from their personality. Oh, this point is extremely important. It doesn't matter how good you are if you're not putting yourself on the internet. So please regularly update your digital portfolio. If you don't know how to make a website, if you don't want to invest in Webflow, make a Notion page. There are so many resumes that are built on Notion, right? So you can either use Notion or you can use Webflow. Just put your work on Dribble, on Instagram, write articles on Medium. Just put yourself out there. You never know what opportunity comes up from which source, right? And don't have 7 different projects. Just have 2 really well-defined projects. And those are more than enough. They just need to see that you at least have potential. For startups, even if you have potential, they will trust you. If you're a good ethical person, if you're a person who's understanding, if you're a person who shows potential, you will get the opportunity. It is not that difficult. Look at the number of people who are looking for UX designers. It's huge. It is humongous. The number of opportunities that are available specifically in India right now, it's unbelievable. All you have to do is capitalize in this window. You have to capitalize the opportunities that will come your way. You just have to be prepared for them. And I always say this, but I will remind you again, please take care of your mind and body first. I know that I talk about all these resources and everything, but none of this is going to work if your mind and your body are not working for you. Right? If your brain is against you, if your intelligence is acting against you, if your body is not willing to work, if your body is not energetic enough, then none of these resources are going to help you. Before we finish this video, there are 3 resources that I want to mention. The first one is Coflios.com, incredible website for inspiration, especially for students, because you can go to this website and actually look at students who have entered really successful companies. So these are not just startups, these are like really popular companies, and you can see their resume, you can see their experience, you can see their case studies. So you would get a lot of idea. You can reverse engineer and figure out what all is missing in my profile. Like if this is my dream company, what all can I do to fill in the gaps? Then if you're a person who's specifically trying to learn mobile design, this website, Learnmobile.design, is extremely powerful. This person has curated a list of mobile design resources that are the best. I'm telling you, even if you finish 50% of the articles and videos mentioned here, you will know a lot more than the other people competing with you for the same job. I am not joking. It's just about the time and energy that you spend on these resources, because most people, they spend their energy on the wrong resources, on the wrong videos. But once you have this, you have immense potential and immense opportunity to just spend time, finish these resources, and apply for the job you want. Then we have uxdatabase.io, which is a very, very well thought, curated curriculum. Like it is a self-paced curriculum. They've made chapters. Inside chapters, they have a couple of resources that are numbered. So you can maybe plan this out that, okay, in this month, I will finish 1 chapter. Next month, I'll finish the 2nd chapter. They've reduced so much of your effort. This is the difficult part, figuring out where to learn things from. But this website can actually help you, pinpoint areas that are absolutely new to you and just focus on them. It's almost like preparing for an examination. Like you have 10 chapters in the syllabus, you feel that I'm weak in those 2 chapters, so you can open this curriculum, absolutely focus on those 2-3 chapters that you're weak at and just apply for your job. If you're coming here for the first time, I'd like to remind you that there are 11 episodes preceding this episode. Even if you've seen some of the episodes, you've missed some of them, I would still recommend you to finish the entire playlist, because this is a 15 episode playlist and the intent was to help students learn UX from scratch, give them all the resources that can help them become a self-taught UX designer and actually get a job that pays them well. I would end this session here by thanking each and every one of you who've been very supportive. If you like what you learned in this video, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, because every time that you do something like that, YouTube helps me push my video to other people. With that being said, I am always available on Instagram. You can connect with me on anshmehra.work or on Twitter, anshmehra with 3 A's at the end. Your reviews, your stories, they make me really, really happy. I'm always looking forward to them. I'm telling you, you only have to stay consistent. Whatever that I'm sharing in these episodes, if you just follow them word to word, I'm telling you, you don't need any other playlist to begin your journey. I know there is a lot of fear. I know that you feel that, you're just lagging behind. I've been there. So many of my friends have been there. We've all been through this journey, but just stay consistent and eventually you will get there. And yeah, that was a very unscripted motivational talk at the end. All right, guys, I will see you very soon. This is Ansh Mehra signing out. If you like this video, make sure you click on like and hit the subscribe button. I regularly upload videos on UX design, marketing, and storytelling.